Hello YouTube, this is Mark Hill and I am the Traveling NP. Had a little bit of a break this weekend. It's June the 23rd, about 12:30 in the afternoon, so I didn't have clinic today. I've got to go do a direct admit in a minute, but other than that I'm not real busy. Thought I'd give you a little update what I've been doing, but I also wanted to discuss what I think is very important for locums providers, whatever your capacity may be, to consider as the owner of your business and as the person that is the boss of you. And that is positioning yourself for success. Last video, which has been a couple months ago, I had started something new, which was starting with a staffing company that I had worked with for quite a while, and I went staff with them. And so I've really been working in the last couple months to position myself for success. So position yourself for success. With this company, as I discussed before, I have a minimum of time I have to work with them in order to maintain full-time status. And that minimum is 100 hours. And so ever since I started, I've been working my at least minimum of 100 hours and then banking a lot of hours. In the month of June, I'm fixed to finish up this month. I have worked approximately 385 hours for the company. That's give or take. I haven't exactly counted them up, but last time I looked at my schedule, I think I had about 385 hours. So that means that 100 hours is what I owe the company. And then out of that 100 hours, they pay me a bi-weekly salary. They cover my health insurance. And they give me matching 401k and benefits like that. They also give me, now this is insurance that covers my entire family, and dental and eye. Now I have to pay like $70 more a month for my eye insurance. And maybe that's dental and eye together. I'm not real sure. So since I started, I have this month I banked 285 hours. Prior to, in April and May, cumulatively I banked 240 hours. So you add those together, and at the end of this month I have 535 hours approximately banked. And so I'll continue to do that, and my goal is to work until the first week of October here in North Dakota. And I've been working a lot in North Dakota, Minnesota, and a little bit in Montana. So my goal is to finish out first week of October and not touch any of my bank money. Or my bank time, I should say. And so the way I've got it figured up, I'm going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,200 to 1,300 hours banked in my bank time. And I've already talked to the accountant, or talked to my contract manager to the accountant about how I can handle that money. Now that comes out to be around $85,000 to $90,000 pre-tax money. Actually more than that. It's probably going to be, it's going to be close to $90,000 of pre-tax money. Now what I've been told is that I can keep that bank money in there as long as I want, and that I'm not taxed on that until I get paid for it. So with 1,200 hours banked, I can take the next year off, 12 months, and not work any locums, go home, and just do telemedicine if I want. and still get a paycheck, still get a salary every 2 weeks, still get my insurance paid, and focus on telemed. And the reality of it is that telemed has really become my primary income. So not only do I have a steady salaried position and have the guarantee of a salary position for a year without working at all as of October, I have my primary income, which is telemedicine. Now I work for several different companies on telemedicine. But I probably only average about, on days that I'm off, I only average about 5 to 6 hours of actual work time on telemed. So I'm really not spending an immense amount of time doing it. So what I'm doing in all this is I'm positioning myself for success. I've paid my debts down to where I have very little debt now. And what little I do have, I'll have paid off by the end of the year. And so I'm positioning myself to where I can be as successful as I choose to be. Now, I've worked very hard to get to this point, and I'm still working hard. I have immense amounts of contracts to fulfill between now and the 1st of October. And I'm not going to stop working in October. All I'm doing is when I leave in October, I know that I don't have to come back and work a Locums assignment for 12 full months at least if I choose not to. Now, that ain't me. I know that I'll be flying back up here probably in November, probably around Christmas. I usually like to work around the holidays because you make a lot more money during the holidays. So I'll probably fly back up here around Thanksgiving, probably fly up prior to Christmas, work through the new year. But then I may take January and February off and do nothing but telemed during that period of time. I don't know yet. I'm just going to play it by ear and see what I want to do. Now, I know me well enough to know that I get home and I get bored and I start figuring, you know what, I've been off a couple weeks. It's time for me to go back and do a contract. So that's typically what happens with me. Now, I will tell you at the end of this stretch that I'm doing now, when October, my last contract that I've got scheduled right now is October the 1st. And I've already told the company that I'll be headed back home October 1st. I'm sure I'll take several weeks off and just do telemed at my leisure until November rolls around. And then I'll start, I'll have the contract manager start looking for me some stuff to do. And he will anyway. I mean, he knows how I work, and so he's going to be probably calling me once a week saying, hey, I got this, you want this? And, if I say no, he's fine with that too. So we have a good working relationship. And that's one thing that's important. If you find a contract manager that you can really work with and knows you, stick with them, because loyalty, in this business is difficult to find. So positioning myself for success, positioning yourself for success. Sometimes that means you really have to front load your work. You really got to work hard. Now, I've worked really hard over the last couple of months. Will continue to work hard over the next couple of months. And I will position myself for success to where I can really focus and expand my telemedicine business. Now, I work for 4 different telemedicine companies. And with all 4 of those telemedicine companies, I could easily turn that into a full-time 5 to 6 day a week, 8 hour a day gig if I wanted to, and massively increase my ability to make money. I'll probably expand it to a 5 day a week deal when I'm home and work 4 to 6 hours a day, just because that's kind of who I am. Now, my other thing is I've got some other businesses that I'm involved in. Believe it or not, I'm in a construction business. We do heavy construction work and septic tank installation, dirt work, things like that, excavation. So I do have some other responsibilities. I'm more on the financial and the end of it than the actual doing of the work. But it's nice to be home sometimes to kind of, oversee part of that process as well. So yeah, I got a lot of irons in the fire, but that's part of what I'm talking about. In order to position yourself for success, sometimes you have to have a lot of irons in the fire. And really, I kind of like it. I like juggling things. I like the excitement of moving in different directions and things changing and having to accommodate and I like staying busy. I don't like a lot of downtime. My wife describes me as a 350-pound chihuahua on crack. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I wake up early, I go to bed late, I don't get a lot of sleep, I work all the time. I'm all about my business. What's the old rap song? Keep my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Well, in business, when you're an entrepreneur and you are trying to position yourself for success, that's kind of got to be your mindset. You got to be thinking all the time, now what's my next move? What am I going to be doing next? How am I going to be handling the future? That's the way I have to do it. I have to stay on top of it. I don't know how you manage your own businesses as a private contractor or as a sole proprietor and not keep your mind on your business and on your money all the time. I don't know how you do that. So maybe some people are just more talented than me, but I can't do it. So position yourself for success. Front load your career. Say, okay, where do I need to be? How hard do I have to work over the next couple of years to make myself financially successful and professionally successful? What ways can I maximize my potential and maximize my abilities to position myself for success? I'm constantly on the look. I'm constantly looking, constantly scrapping, constantly moving in the direction of success. I'm 52 years old. I figure I have 20 years maximum left to hustle. Now, some people say, well, early 70s, who wants to be hustling? If I'm living and breathing, I can't see myself changing a whole lot. So I gotta keep going. That's me. That's my personality. I got to keep cracking at it. And everybody's not like that. You got to do what's right for you. If you're satisfied doing what you're doing and okay with that, hey, more power to you. All I can say is that it's part of who I am. Keep cracking at this thing and keep going and keep rolling. So, position yourself for success. Do what you have to do to get where you want to be early rather than late. Look, procrastination is a killer. Don't procrastinate. If you know that you can position yourself for financial success or professional success, go ahead and get it done now. It's like I tell my wife all the time. She says, you can do that later. No, I can't do it later. I got to do it right now. That's just the way I am. I can't do it later. Even when I was in school, when I was in nurse practitioner school, I would finish papers. They would give us a schedule of everything that was going to be due. I would sometimes finish papers 4 and 5 weeks ahead of time and have them turned in. I even had a instructor one time send me a note complaining that I didn't need to turn my papers in so early because she didn't, really have time to look at it right then. And I said, well, don't look at it right then. Look at it. You can procrastinate if you want to. I said, but for me, I've got to get this done. So that's just the way I do it. So I've front-loaded my whole career as far as a locums provider. And that's the way I've got to do to position myself for success. Position yourself for success. Anyway, just my word. A little update on what I've been doing. So if you have any questions, let me know. This is a traveling NP. and have a great day.